Heyo folks, welcome to the channel. Today we're looking at LEGO Ninjago Dragons Rising set number 71810, Young Dragon Riyu. This set released in 2024, retails for $16 US, contains 3 minifigures and 132 pieces. This is a really small yet cool set, so let's get straight into it. For the main build of the set is of course Young Dragon Riyu, which is a much older version of this little figure, which you can see how much they have grown, and they grow much more in another set, but that's for another time. But our main focus is on this Riyu, which I really like how this Riyu uses a bunch of unique pieces, such as for the back, as well as the pieces for the wings, whether it be the wings itself or this little gold piece, as well as the unique molded head, which does appear in another set, but still nice to get. Riyu does unfortunately use 4 stickers, but thankfully they're not 1x1 stickers, and they're all the exact same. The legs are very articulate, though the half pyramid piece does make it a little awkward, but you can still pose them decently. The tail is also articulate, which uses these Ninjago blade pieces, which it's really nice to get. As you can see, there's some studs on the back where if you wanted to, you can put 2 minifigures on top of Riyu, so that way they're riding Riyu as they swooshes on by, flying into battle. Speaking of minifigures, let's get straight into them. For our first minifigure of the set, we have Aaron, who isn't exclusive, but is the only minifigure within the set who has 2 weapons. One being the sword within the back, and the other being this hook-like weapon, which isn't the same as the Hulk sort of weapon he comes in with most sets, but it's still a nice inclusion. As you can see, if you remove his headpiece, you can see that he has no alternative piece, but let's take the neck attachment off so we can get a better look at the back and the front. He's got printing on the front, which I do love the combination of the regular orange and the yellowish orange, which if you turn around, you can see that there's some printing on the back, which is really cool. But yeah, even though he isn't exclusive per se, it's a really nice inclusion to get him in a much cheaper set. For our next minifigure, we have Sora, who is a really nice minifigure, which introduces this hair headphone combo piece, which does come in a few other sets later, but I believe this was the first set to include it. This figure is not exclusive, but it is really nice to get this figure in such a cheap set. You got her with her arm printing, as well as this really nicely printed torso. She does have some back printing, as well as only 1 sword accessory, which let's remove the head and look at the back. We'll also look at the expressions, where one of her faces is a more angry expression, while the other one has a more positive with glowing eyes. And you see she's got some really cool back printing. But yeah, this is a really nice minifigure. Here's a fun fact. During the making of this video, I thought Brickset had said that she was exclusive to this set, which was really confusing because aside from her hairpiece, she's the exact same as another set. I even did a full-on comparison of the 2 figures. But once I was done making the video, I looked back at Brickset only to realize she comes in another set exactly like this. Maybe with a different weapon, but exact same minifigure. Funny, isn't it? Let's move on to the final one. For our final minifigure of the set, we have the Wolf Mask Warrior. As you can see, they got a little neck attachment piece, as well as this really nice molded head, which is a mixture of like the ninja head scarf, as well as the wolf mask, and if you turn around, you can see more of the molds detail, as well as the back printing, which is pretty nice. They also come with this really cool sword, which was introduced within the Pharaoh's Quest line, so it's nice to get this piece from such an obscure LEGO line. And if you take the headpiece off, you'll reveal some more printing on the head, which got this really cool wolf mask, and if you turn around, they have this more empowered look, which is really cool. It's funny that they contain this, even though they got this headpiece covering it, although in some sets, they do have like a headscarf like that one that was introduced in the Star Wars series. But still, this minifigure is really well done, and it's a nice inclusion for such a cheap set. Anyways, let's move on to the final part of the vid. Before I close this video off, I'd like to share my thoughts and a few other words about this set, and I just do think this is a really nice set, but would I recommend it? Absolutely, I would definitely recommend this set. You get so much for such a relatively cheap price, and I thought this set would have been like $20, but for $16 you just get so much. It's just such a good price. And another thing is that some places as of the moment have it on sale for either $12 or $13, so that's just a really good deal. You get this nice, cool dragon build and 3 unique figures. Maybe not exclusive, but some unique figures for such a relatively cheap price. So if you're able to pick this up, I would highly recommend it. Anyways, that'll be all for today's video. I hope you guys enjoyed. If you have any thoughts on this video, as well as suggestions on how I could do these videos better, please let me know. Hope you guys enjoyed. Please be sure to leave a like, subscribe, and comment all that because it helps, and I'll see you in the next video. Have a good one!